All right, so I did a video just a little bit ago on this fellow grinder here, and I thought it was just a really well-made product, and my coffee maker actually just stopped working, and so I needed to get a new one of those, and saw that these guys made a coffee maker as well, so started to do a little research on that, and then ended up getting this as the replacement. And I think that the quick summary is that this is a very nice coffee maker. And let's look at a few things. Let's look at the box that it comes in first. So this is what the box looks like here. And the back of it, some of the features. Actually didn't realize that it had an app. I won't show that, but you can like schedule coffee and change some of the settings. And so there's that. Up to 10 cups pour over quality. So what all comes in here? So this is just like a user guide thing. Comes with some filters, which is kind of nice, just in case you don't have any. This is for a smaller dose coffee. I'll show you that in a second, and a little bit different filters. The flavor is supposed to be a little different between these two. I haven't played with this yet, and I think for like if you want to just do a single cup of coffee, they also want you to use this. And so let's go back over here and take a look at this. So what do we got? So this I really like nice little tactical thing. So it's got a little click on it, and then the screen here, give you a look at that. So this instant, so if you just hit that, then what it'll do is however much water you have in here, it'll just brew right through it, and no settings, you don't do anything. It just is like a old school coffee maker kind of thing. This guided situation, so medium, dark, and then if you go into here, and then you can tell how many cups, and then it'll tell you how much water to add. And coffee as well, and I have a little scale here to be able to measure that out. I do think this is really important. It seems, I know, a little detail oriented, but it does make a difference to get that ratio really nice. And then personally, I also feel like having the freshly ground beans also makes a pretty big difference. So keep that in mind. I am measuring the coffee and doing the grind, and then that's my experience with this coffee maker in terms of the taste. So so let's go back out of this here. So different brew types. You can do your own profile situation, so you can adjust these different amounts of water. You can set up a schedule, so you can say, okay, I want it at 6 a.m., turn that on. You can also pick like, if it's dark roast or whatever, or a custom one, so you can modify all that. And then in the app, you can do that as well. You don't have to just do it through here. Even though this is kind of nice and trendy, this little screen here, I will say, I really think this is like the only thing I don't like. It looks kind of cheap for how expensive this coffee maker is. I think the screen is a bit of a downside. I don't mind the round, and I don't mind the design. I think the wheel is really nice to adjust this. It's just like, I don't know, I think it just needs to be bigger or higher resolution or something. There's just something that feels a little cheap about this part. Now everything else I think feels really high quality. I really like, you can take this off, so you can take it over to the sink, add your water situation, because you can just keep it full. And if you just do like a couple cups, now you don't have to fill it up every time. And this just slides back in here like that. So really easy. I really like this little mechanism. It just feels really nice. Has this nice little like pull spring activated at the end. It'll just kind of like pull it back into place. Just has a really nice feel because you're interacting with this every day, right? So I think those little things make a difference. This like you can adjust between the colors. So a larger brew, you want the blue, and a smaller one, you want the green. And so you just adjust this and then you swap out, which I just made some coffee. So sorry, that's why it's wet. And then there's that other one I was showing, and then this just fits down in here as well and snaps in there really nicely. Again, there's a lot of really nice, just little tactile little things about this that just make it feel really high quality. This has a little rubber seal. I think that's for two reasons. I think one, to keep heat in here, and then I think also it helps too if you put ground coffee in here, if you're gonna do scheduled in the morning, it helps keep it from getting too much air into it. So that's really nice. So this shower head, right, gets really wide distribution onto the coffee, so that's really nice. And then I believe if you look up the marketing on this, it's got a fancy heating element, and it's really fast. It doesn't really take any time to get to temperature, and it seems to come out, you know, I didn't actually measure it, so I don't know 100% if it's in that 200 range, but just the feel, the first couple sips, it really feels like it's up there in that 200 range, where it needs to be for what's recommended. And yeah, so this is the carafe. So you can pop this under here. But again, if you use this smaller one, you can also set it so it can just do a single dose of coffee. And so that's kind of nice. And so this is aluminum. And I don't know if I'll be able to take this off with just one hand. Let me see, because this does sit down here really nice on it. Again, it has this rubber gasket, so it really keeps the heat in there. So that's kind of what it looks like. And again, sorry, I just made some coffee, so it is full of coffee. But yeah, this does keep heat really well. And then this fits underneath where the little spout goes. And so again, keeping that heat and keeping it at temperature. So this feels pretty high quality. I will knock them a little bit. This handle kind of creaks a little bit. I would, again, for the price, that's the only reason I'm being nitpicky about the screen and this, because this is like $300 something coffee maker, and just I think this handle is a little cheap feeling. But this keeps temperature, it looks nice, it fits under here well, it does seem like it's high quality in terms of metal. It's double walled aluminum, right? So it's keeping the temperature in there. It has a really nice pour. It kind of has this like nice arc as it comes out, so it really helps you like really target it into your cup. So this is really well thought out. It's just this handle's like just not quite as nice. The screen's not quite as nice. Neither one of these are deal breakers. I think buy it anyways, despite me complaining about this. I'm just saying. And yeah, now in terms of the taste, I had, what did I have before this? It's like called the Bona Vita or something like that. I had that for years, and I thought it made pretty good coffee. But in my opinion, if you weigh your coffee, grind your coffee, and use their setting on here, so light, medium, dark, roast, and let it adjust how it like pulses the water onto the coffee grounds, this does make significantly better coffee, in my opinion, than the Bona Vita that I had before. That was a fairly high rated coffee maker from a few years ago. And this is better, just taste wise. I don't know, I'm not a coffee nerd 100%. I'm like, it's a hobby kind of thing. But I think this does make really high quality and really good tasting coffee. So in summary, really well thought out. I think it looks cool. It's got that kind of like modern industrial kind of look to it. I think it looks really nice next to their grinder here. I like the blacked out situation. This does come in white. I believe this also comes in white, so if that fits your vibe better, but I got the black ones. So looks really good, really high quality, couple little knocks, screen and handle here, but the coffee that comes out of this, really good. Would recommend, really happy with this. If you really want high quality coffee and you're looking to get those little nuances out of it, this pulls those little nuances out of your high quality coffee. Now, if you're putting garbage coffee in, you know, I think this isn't going to improve the situation very much. But if you're really spending a little more on that coffee, you know, single origin or whatever, then you want your nice coffee maker to kind of go with that, help pull some of those flavors out. And this does, again, I don't know exactly what it's doing exactly. I think probably just with the pulsing of the water and the temperature and that, I do get a little more nuance out of the coffee from my old coffee maker. I had this exact same coffee and I made it with the old coffee maker and the new, and this does pull a little more nuance out. Maybe almost feels a little cleaner in terms of the flavor that you get out of it than the old coffee maker. So yeah, overall, really good. Would recommend. And I think that's pretty much it. The back of it here just comes out underneath. Just so you know, this can like wrap around. So then the cord's not as long. So that's a nice little detail as well. But yeah, overall, really good. Would recommend. Yeah, post if you have any comments or questions. I'll try to answer. And yeah, see you later.